everyone for being on tonight. We'll go ahead and get started. We hope this is a productive hour here. We want this to be beneficial for you and your unit as you learn about the upcoming popcorn sale for the 2026 season. Some introductions. I'm McKay Allen. I serve as the volunteer for Crossroads of the West Council as our popcorn chair for the council. Really love selling popcorn. It truly helped me so much in my scouting journey as a boy. It changed my ability to enjoy scouting without stressing about the finances and the fundraising. And so I am so grateful for popcorn. Tonight, we're going to talk about a lot of tips and tricks and things to just help you as your scouts have a similar experience to what I had. Want to introduce as well Jake Bangeter. Hopefully all of us know Jake. He's our council representative here for Crossroads of the West Council, serves as director of field service. So he works with your local professional, serving them, helping them, and making sure your scouts are having a good experience. And then we want to recognize Tiffany Compton with us tonight. Tiffany, thanks for being here. Tiffany serves as our sales representative for Trails End and does a wonderful job in supporting Jake and I and the work we do. And we're going to hear from Tiffany tonight throughout the evening and everything going on with this training. So Jake, Tiffany, chime in as we go along here as needed. If there's thoughts you have, please don't hesitate. But leaders, for you as the training goes along tonight, please jump in the chat, ask questions. If there's things that are confusing, jump on microphone. We want to hear from you. We will open it up at the very end for Q&A, but please let's make sure you leave tonight feeling ready to go with the next steps for the popcorn sale. So, okay, let's go ahead and move forward with the slides here, Jake. All right, perfect. So popcorn kickoff today, and let's take a look at the next one here. I want to recap 2025. What an incredible year. Thank you, thank you, thank you. New council record of total popcorn sold of $640,572. Give yourselves a hand, folks. That was just an incredible year, and so excited to elevate our sales even more this upcoming year. That was a 35% increase over 2024. That doesn't just happen by mistake. That's a lot of effort, intentional time, and attention to detail from each of you. We know this is not a small lift. And so thank you for the hard work you put in. And for those that are new, please know and recognize that there's possibilities to come in here and hit the ground running, right? We have a lot of units that experienced what you experienced as a first-time selling unit, and we want you to see their success and opportunity ahead. So we're going to celebrate a lot of unit success and individual success here in a moment. Unit commissions, $251,183 back to scouting. That is a huge, huge win. That's right into your unit bank accounts, to scout camp, whatever that looks like, weekly activities, and so much more. And 26 units sold over $10,000. I believe that's a new record as well. That's a huge qualifying number for us in our eyes of that $10,000 benchmark, what allows you to do so much more as a unit because of those funds going back to your unit. 57 youth selling over $2,500. For those that don't know, we have our big spin party every year, and to qualify, your scout must sell through their Trails End app over $2,500. And we had 57 youth qualify for the big spin party. Guys, you don't want to miss the big spin party. It's Christmas on steroids. It's a lot of fun. We have a great time. We hold it at Camp Tracy there in Salt Lake. And it is just an incredible experience and something that your scouts will want to attend year after year. And then we want to recognize that $303,080 sold by those 57 scouts, which is incredible, right? That's almost half the popcorn sold. And then Timpanogos District, shout yourself out in the chat if you're from the Timpanogos District. $141,000, $825. Incredible. What an incredible year, and we're looking forward to elevating it even further this year. When we started this as Crossroads of the West Council in 2020, our goal was to at some point get to $750,000 in popcorn sales. But I remember Jake and I talking about this very clearly and openly with each other. And at that point, that was a pipe dream. And guys, we're on the doorstep. I would love to see us go and attack that number this year, and as a collective group, get to 750,000. We're right there. So let's keep it going. All right, let's celebrate some people here, Jake. All right. I want to hear from you tonight. If you are representing one of the scouts on the left-hand side here in that top 25, or if you're one of the units, shout yourself out in the pack, shout out or in the chat, shout out your pack or your troop or your scout by name. Congratulations. Our top three top selling scouts was Killian F out of pack 2019, $17,389. Scarlet S out of the Ochre Mountain District, Troop 7, $16,245. And Jacob K in the Timpanogos District, Pack 7, $16,085. Congratulations to those three scouts. They were recognized and rewarded with awesome prizes at the Big Spin Party. But we love seeing that there are similar names to at the top of this list, people that we've seen for many years, but there's new names as well, and that's really exciting. So shout out your scouts. This is exciting. And then our top selling units in the council, a new council record of 52,000, sorry, thanks, Jake, $54,728, pack 2019 in the Timpanogos District. Way to go. That is incredible. Way to go. Number one in the council and making it up those national boards too, which is really exciting as well. Troop 7 out of the Ochre Mountain District doing 41,198 and pack 1023 selling 38,074. We are super thrilled with all of you and everyone on this list, guys. Our top 25 sold all sold over $10,000, which is an incredible progress for our council and feat, and something we want to see grow and increase this year even. So way to go to everyone on this list. Okay, let's talk about ideal year of scouting. For your scout unit, I hope this is something you consider, that you do on a regular basis. And if not, maybe press pause, talk to your pack or troop committee, and make sure you're having this be your format every year. We got to have a program in place, right? For our troops, that's our youth really setting that expectation of what does this program look like? And then us as adults saying, yeah, that's realistic. Setting our budget. What does it cost to do that? We got a calendar. Make sure we have this all in the calendar so we can accomplish the things that are needed to be done. Set goals. What does that look like? If we're going to spend X number of dollars on this event, if we're doing a pool party, if we're working on a merit badge that requires so much material and it's going to cost, what does that look like? Registration fees and so on. What's your cost for your unit? So look at your total program cost, divide it by the unit commission, and that equals your unit sales goal. So that's a really important number of, okay, does it cost our troop $7,000 to operate on an annual basis with 20 scouts or whatever that looks like for you? You've got to figure out that number because that's the number you're targeting for your unit sales commission. It's so important that we pause and make sure we're setting ourselves up for success. Divide the unit goal by number of scouts to get the scout goals. It's simple, but it works. And then you just set that as an expectation. When new scouts come into the unit, I hope it's simply an expectation that, hey, as part of our unit, we do this annual popcorn fundraiser. It's a great way to make sure our scouts have a wonderful program, but we as parents aren't strapped for cash, right? Because scouting does cost a lot of money. I have 3 kids in the program right now, and it costs, right? I'm headed to Camp Lowell next week. That was $700. And so I'm grateful for things like popcorn sales that can really help offset that cost for me as a parent. Go out and raise the money, right? That's the biggest and most important factor. You set up all your plans and action, but you got to go out and do it and execute it. And we're going to talk about how you engage your parents, your kids, your scouts, and so on to make sure this ideal year of scouting isn't just off in the distance, but that is a reality for your scouts. I know we've seen some things coming through the chat here. Jake, is there anything we need to comment on, or Tiffany?
I'm handling some questions as they come in, so please feel free to drop
Perfect.
any questions you have in there. And I'm also going to be dropping some helpful links for everyone as you're talking, McKay,
Great.
just things that are related.
Hey, perfect. I just want to make sure we're not missing anything as we go along. So keep your questions going in the chat. Tiffany, thanks so much for your help there. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look here at the next slide. But ideal of your scouting, guys, is the way to go. Okay, what are your ways to sell? there are three main ways to sell popcorn. Storefront sales, just like it sounds, right? Getting your popcorn right in front of the store and selling your product. Online sales, this is for grandma and grandpa or friends that maybe aren't local that we can sell popcorn to and let them be a part of this fundraiser. Or wagon sales, also known as door-to-door sales. Excuse me. Each of them have value for different reasons. Now, I will say your storefront sales are your most flow of people, right? You're going to have more contact, more eyeballs, more people to talk to on that storefront sale than you will these other options. And so, storefronts, we have seen over the years, generates the most income per hour of your scout selling. So, this is a really good one. Now, I want to make sure we know on a storefront sale that we have got to do our part to keep it simple, keep it nice, but then our scouts got to be ready. They've got to be ready to go out there, make eye contact, talk to people, and share why they're asking for people's support for their scouting experience. And so with all these sales, that's so important. And so storefronts, we want to make sure we're preparing our scouts for success. I hope you have a unit kickoff that your scouts can practice their pitch or various things like that. Online sales, this is a great one. I encourage every parent in my unit to set up a little station where their scouts are doing their video, and mom and dad can share that on social media, email it, text it to family and friends, whatever that looks like, with their link. You can also, through the Trails End app, do all this, set this up on the backside and have it ready to share to friends and family. So really great way. Again, on there, it allows you through the Trails End app to share via social media, email, text, and so on. So it's really a simple but great way to sell popcorn. And then your wagon sales. This is truly where you have the wagon with product in it and you're going door to door. This is a really more personal option. And this is a great one to do in your neighborhood because people know you in your neighborhood, they recognize you, and they want to support the good that your scout is doing and participating in. So, um, any questions on these? Okay, let's go ahead and carry on.
All right. I wanted to mention on this one, McKay, the great work that Trails End does for us to get storefront hours collected. I mean, how many of you have been doing this long enough that you used to have to go and talk to all the managers of the stores and get your time slots and then go and manually, record it with council so we try to make sure we don't have anybody else double booking? Yes, yeah, a couple raised hands there. and
It was the
it's
worst. So this is a huge win from Trails End for us.
This was one of the biggest issues that people had when you would do the sale because who wants to go and get all that done on their free time and then make sure after getting the storefront, now you try to get your kids and all that. So the fact that over the last 3 or 4 years now, we've had the ability to have Trails End work on this on the backside and help us not only have enough hours for everybody, but then you can go and collect those hours, add people to the shifts through the leader portal. And then, like as you see, we had 3,845 hours collected, then 2,500 claimed, and 2,100 worked. So there's good news. We have plenty of hours. On the downside is we didn't utilize all of them, which means we have, we talk about having the best sale we ever had at 640,000, but we're not even close to the ceiling of what we could accomplish if we allow units to sell in some areas where we still don't have anybody selling and utilize these hours that are available. A lot of them are at Smith's, Walmart's, many other stores. Really, you'll be surprised by some of the ones that we get, and they're very successful. There are lots of foot traffic, but the fact that we only utilize 25% of what we were allotted means we have a lot of room for more potential sales throughout our council.
Now, Jake,
And Jake, I'll just share that Trails End has already booked over 12,000 hours for Crossroads of the West this year.
so cool. So cool. Now, Jake, question: if we have a first-time unit leader on here, they're just trying to figure this out. What is this portal here to reserve storefront sales? What does it do for us as leaders?
Okay, well, I'm actually going to defer that for a little later in this conversation
Okay,
because
perfect.
we're gonna have an opportunity to kind of go through that with Tiffany's help in a little bit. But
Perfect.
I'm very excited for you guys to hear about, especially if you haven't done this before.
Yeah, this is game changer for a unit, guys. It takes a lot of the legwork out for the sell and lets you focus on just the unit logistics and not stressing about where and how and so on. So awesome. We'll talk more in a little bit then.
Okay, and for new units that are selling as well, new unit meaning somebody unit that did not sell in 2025 has the opportunity to get this promotion, which is worth $480, 2 cases worth of $20 a bagged product. If you sell the cases by 1031, utilize the Trails End app for your sales. Do at least 4 hours of storefronts. Um, Very doable. This is a kind of the basic way to get your feet wet. And once you do that, all you can see is how easy it is, and you just go ahead and order more.
Yeah.
Like look at the sales. Like you see people kind of dabbled in it, and then those units, the average order was almost $7,500. We saw that last year here as well. A lot of units made secondary orders once they realized it is selling and it's going pretty quick. We could get more. We have more kids and parents that want to get involved. We need to raise more money, all that kind of stuff, and this is a great way to kind of get that started without feeling the burden of, oh no, what if we don't sell it all?
Great. So good. Okay. Thank you, Jake. Really appreciate it. Maybe we can talk a little bit about the product here. This is our 2026 Trails End product mix. Notice that the dollar amount is $20 across the board, except for the microwave butter popcorn. This is really an important aspect, actually. It eliminates a lot of the decision making for the customer. And what we're doing is asking customers to support our scouts for a donation of $20. And in return, they're getting this bag of popcorn as a thank you, right? And so let's talk about the product. We have white cheddar. This is the most popular one. Year after year after year, white cheddar sells the best, $20. Salted caramel. This one's been around for many years, also a $20 bag, $20 for a kettle corn. Okay, this one's recent from the last couple of years, but it's a great product. And then making a return is the sea salt popcorn. This one is not new to Trails End, but we've not seen it for a couple years. And then our trustful and true microwave butter popcorn. So $25 for the microwave butter, $20 for the rest of the product. This really simplifies it for your scouts, guys, is what I found, especially your Cubs and your scouts that might just get a little confused with the numbers. Across the board, it's pretty basic and pretty straightforward. So really make sure your scouts know this, but it's simple for them to learn. Okay. Jake, you want to talk a little bit about these next couple slides here?
Yeah. So on this, part of what we want to be able to say is with the streamlined product pricing, we tried that in our unit. You say $20 will help me attend, this summer camp, going to Camp Kiesel or Maple Dell or whatever it's going to be. And you say for your $20 donation, go ahead and pick, one of these items off the table. That worked really well for us. What I also really liked about the $20 product price point was you didn't have to make a lot of change for people when they do the cash. You only have to worry about that a little bit, maybe with the $25 one, but really it simplified it. And it's easier for just the kid to say everything's 20. And the other thing you want to make sure of is that you're going to get a lot of no's with the kids, right? But it helps them have a better attitude, but it also might help the customer. And sometimes they even come back later. Like if you catch them in the beginning of the store, they'll come back out with a couple bucks to put into the Heroes and Helpers donations, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But say thank you, have a good day. It helps you feel good as the scout. I know I saw that a lot with my own kids in the unit out there selling. It just keeps their positivity up, but it also helps the customer to feel that it's okay for them to say no, but also, oh, that's so cool that the kid, took that so well.
Yeah.
All right. There is an update for those that have done this before on the points side. You get $4. Oh, that went one more. That's funny. You get 4 points per dollar that goes through credit and online. So that includes cash to credit, which was a great, really popular option. It's really nice for the unit colonel to not have to dabble with all the cash and make sure it all gets collected, but have the opportunity to close out the storefront. Whoever has that cash for either that shift or for the day can go ahead and run their own card for the cash amount, and then they can just take that to their own personal bank account afterwards. You have up to 72 hours to do that. Sometimes, because again, it might depend on the unit, but maybe it needs to get to that kernel, or maybe you just allow the parent or whoever that's there to take care of it. But you do have a little bit of time to get that done, and then anybody that was on the sale that day, it will help them out with their points to get to that. Otherwise, it's $1 to point. So it really helps you stack up your gift card points in a hurry, and kids are very motivated by that. And in the app that you're selling in, they will see real-time progress of where they're at and
Yeah.
where they're going to head from level to level. So it's a really great thing, but it's really nice to not have to be too concerned with the cash when you can just immediately switch it over to your credit card and then cash it into the bank.
And there's a lot of value with that in terms of security for the unit too, that cash, right? Not stressing about it. And so a lot of good benefits there.
Yes, absolutely. We did mention real quickly on Heroes and Helpers, but this is one that honestly, if you're not out there with like a donation jar, you're missing a lot of opportunities. There are so many people that won't pay the $20. Hey, that's just too much for me. But hey, thank you for inviting me, and they'll drop a couple bucks, 5 stems, whatever, in there. Or some of them might even say, you know what, I don't even eat popcorn, but I'll give you $20 for for the military donations or Heroes and Helpers. And we have an incentive, of course, that on top of the fact that you get a lot of points for your prizes, you'll also be able to get this patch that you see on the screen. We've got them already in hand. So if you sell over 200 per, in the youth, they get that, and leaders can get that for every 500 that is collected within their unit. So that's a really nice addition. Last year, we had the Minecraft theme. We got sold out of those. Like, everybody did a great job. We almost did 40,000 in Heroes and Helpers last year. Great job, everybody, collecting those donations and then collecting more points towards gift cards for the kids.
Well, and it's a win for the scout and the unit and everyone. We get to help our local community as scouts, which is valuable. But then also as a unit, you get to have options to receive donations in a great way through Heroes and Helpers.
Yeah. Well, and one thing that helps out the council as well, if we get a few returns, that doesn't hurt us too bad, because we can utilize some of that to give locally to places like Hill Air Force Base or a local fire department. We had a number of units that helped deliver some of these around the areas. And then if we didn't solidify all of that ourselves, then Trails End helps us to get that distributed even maybe a little, around the United States. So it worked out really well. So we appreciate everybody doing that, and allowing the kids to be able to take part in that to help these Heroes and Helpers feel the love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and then commissions. If you've been around for a few years, we have not changed this for some time. I think this is very, very generous, kind of a rich get richer scenario. The units that sell a lot get a lot. And yeah, there's some, we know some of these guys. We had 26 units last year that sold over 10,000. And I think there's parts that matter to all of this. I think when my unit sells and we get kind of a little tired somewhere in the middle there, we're at 7,500, and you need some motivations, and there's different motivations. We'll talk through a couple more as the slides go on, but sometimes you can play it out. Okay, we can get 2% more if we can go out, 2 more storefronts on Saturdays. Can we do it? Let's go out there. Let's do 1,200 a day or whatever, and let's get that 2,500 more, and hit that 10,000 mark or whatever it may be. There's obviously more opportunities even that we'll share. Online commissions, straight 35%. And then the units that sell less than 5,000 is if you sell everything, or you'll get the extra 2% to 35%.
Yeah, and unit leaders, please recognize council is giving this from their pocket to you. So we want you to benefit from this sell as a unit. And so as you hit these commission marks, these bonuses, please know like this is you being recognized for your hard work and efforts. Like so take advantage of it. Go crush it, do a good job with it, but man, get that 39% commission. That is so much commission. Not every council does 39% commission. So, as a volunteer, just like you guys as a leader, I'm so grateful that we have this investment from our council into us as units. Okay, let's talk prizes. So, in addition to what you get at Trails End with points and prizes and so on, please know as a council, we want to recognize your scouts for the sell that they do. And so on the right hand side of your screen, you'll notice this fun orange yellow page here. Your scouts have the potential to earn a lot of cool things. So if your scout sells over $12,500, they'll be, of course, invited to the big spin party. They'll get 5 spins at the wheel, and also they'll get 2 tickets to Disneyland with some hotel accommodations and gas or flight plans accommodations as well. Jake, correct me if I'm misspeaking on any of these. I want to make sure I get them right. For $10,000, very similar. You'll get 4 spins at the big wheel, and then also a trip to Disneyland. For 7,500, 3 spins at the spin party, and then Lagoon season passes. Is that right? Or just day trips, Jake?
Yeah, season passes for two and parking pass. Season
Thanks. And
parking
the
pass.
parking pass. Okay, great. And then for $5,000, you'll be invited to the big spin party with 2 spins at the wheel. And for $2,500 in sales, 1 spin at the wheel at the big spin party. But I promise you walk away with a lot more at the big spin party than just that one prize. It is so much fun. But then we recognize it's not just that 1 or 2 scouts in your unit that maybe crush it, but there's other scouts selling. And so we want to recognize the unit as well. So that bottom row of incentives, if your unit sells over $20,000, you can have a swim party or and a movie night party for your unit. This is a really fun one to do, but it's also a great recruiting activity, inviting local families, neighbors, friends. This is such a fun celebration of you. I will say on all of these, Jake is awesome to work with and will do the equivalent of if you're like, oh man, we don't have a great theater in our little town here. What other options? We want to make sure your scouts are recognized at the equivalent value. And so if there's something different you want to do, awesome. Let's figure out how to do it. $15,000, you get a pool party, $10,000, a movie night for your unit and families. We've seen so many fun pictures over the years of scouts, units, their families at these pool parties, at the movie. And the scouts have popcorn and sugar rushes and soda and all sorts of goodness coming into their lives on those movie nights. They're so much fun. And then you'll see the on the left-hand side of the screen, this America 250 page. This is just showing what every scout would need to sell in order to qualify. So for the blue number, earn the seller patch and sell the blue quantities to get the 500 above and earn the patch. So if your scouts sell at a minimum 2 sea salt bags, 6 sweet and salty bags, 6 cheddar bags, 4 microwave popcorn boxes, and 6 salted caramel, they'll meet that $500 threshold for their patch incentives. To attend the big spin party, there's your quantities of selling 6 salted, 34 sweet and salty, 35 cheddar, 12 popping corn, and 35 salted caramel. So hopefully that's a real simple breakdown and just visual for your parents to be like, okay, here's my numbers we got to hit. It can be any variation of those, but this is just a simple way to look at it. Okay, and we want to announce for 2027, our big spin party will be on January 9th at Camp Tracy. This is a Saturday. You must sell $2,500 worth of popcorn in order to attend. So, leaders, hype this up. We rarely have scouts miss this. Usually it's for emergencies that they miss it, but we have scouts coming from St. George, from Green River, Wyoming, from Idaho to make sure they go to the big spin party. So get this on your parents' calendars. Be a part of the big spin party. It is so much fun. We have pizza, we have prizes, we have games. We do a lot of really fun things. So who will join us? I invite you to get your scouts excited for the big spin party. Okay, Jake, let's talk through dates here.
All right, so we have added a week this year because Halloween is on a Saturday. So we didn't want to lose some sales potentially because obviously that could hinder some sales. So we're moving up a week so that we can start selling the last weekend of August, which does not include the holiday. So you'd have the first week being August 29th and 30th, and then the next week we would have the Labor Day weekend. So that extends us one extra week through mid-November. So that's why first orders are going to be due in 3 weeks from today, which is plenty of time, I believe. We can help you through that if you need help, if you're a unit that hasn't done this before, or if you've even when you've done it before, maybe you need some help on figuring out what you want for your product mix, how much of each case, that sort of thing. We can help you out with that. But you'll want to submit those orders through the leader portal by August 10th. I'll be following up with those if we need to, but that's the date we're looking at to get it from you. So then we've got to make our big order with Tiffany and Trails End. So our distribution will be 2 weeks later on Wednesday, the 26th. And then if you're being a little conservative off the bat, that's okay. You may find that you want to order some more. That's where that second order comes in. Last year, this worked out really well for us. We had some units that weren't quite sure. Could we do the same? You know, how many families are going to get involved? And by the time that they got a couple weeks in, they knew, okay, we need more and we want more. So that's a great time to do that. And then final orders, that's more, it's kind of more rare that you'll need this one, but this is, if you have any take orders, you have product that you had people order, but you didn't have it on hand. We then get that to you so that you can fulfill those deliveries.
Make sure you have these dates in your calendar. Jake and his team will be awesome and follow up with you as unit leaders, but get them in your calendar. Make sure you submit those dates. Don't let them sneak up on you because it is tricky when that happens.
Our return policy, this has been the same a couple of years now. Uh, Only complete popcorn cases. That's just what we've done in the past. We accept them in full cases. Up to 15% can be returned. You can use your heroes and helpers against this though too. So like if you did 2,000 heroes and helpers and you have 2,000 returns, that's not too bad. Obviously, we'd love it if everybody can just sell everything out.
No,
But that will count towards that 15%, the heroes and
yeah,
helpers.
yeah, and the biggest benefit to the heroes and helpers guys is to not get caught, right? We want units to be able to have what they need, of course, but selling heroes and helpers, if you do have excess, can just be replenished straight over there, or help a neighboring unit that might need help there, right? And you can offload some of your product to them. So please make sure you're just tracking those heroes and helpers because it is a win in the long run for everyone.
Yeah, this is one of those things too, where if you're communicative early and often, like, hey, we might have bit off more than we can chew. There are usually units that again want to utilize that secondary order, and they may not need to, or maybe they don't need as big of an order. They could grab from some of yours, and through the leader portal, you can make a transfer and
Yeah.
then work it out with them to physically move that product.
Yeah, reach out to me and Jake during the sell. Every year without fail, within the first 2 to 3 weeks, we have several units that reach out saying we need more product or I have too much product. And so if we don't know that information, we can't help. Now with Trails End, we do track that on the backside. And so we will reach out saying, hey, we noticed you haven't shuffled any product or sold any product. What's going on? Do you need to move it to another unit at this point? So don't be surprised if that does happen.
All right, then there's the key sale dates. We've talked about some of them. We wanted to highlight, of course, the deadlines for making your orders. Payment due to the council by December 1st. That gives you plenty of time to kind of finish that out if you have a few loose bags and things and you just want to get them sold. Again, one of the great things is that most units don't have to pay council. And the reason is because they do the cash to credit. Any credit card sale you already have already goes through Trails End system, and they work it out on how much is now owed, how much you've earned, and then you start to accumulate your actual dollars that you're going to net. And so by the time, if you've done most of it or all of it through cash to credit / credit cards, you will get your full commissions back to you right there on Trails. And so you won't have to even make a payment. You'll just get the money that you've earned.
Yeah, absolutely. I should say too, all of this information is on our website, utahscouts.org/popcorn. So make sure you check that out. If you have any questions about the content that's on here, where do you find this information? That's where you go. It's all there.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing a minute. We're going to give some time to Tiffany.
Thank you so much. So let me pop this up over here for you guys. And what I'm going to do is a real quick walkthrough of the new unit leader portal. So hopefully you've already been in there. First and foremost, the most important thing you could be doing right now is this top right-hand button that says onboarding. We can see here Jake was a good scout and he completed his onboarding. If you're a unit leader that has not yet completed or started this, you cannot order product until this is completed. Very, very important. Get in there, click in, get it done. I can ask the questions of a scout leader on the way to soccer practice and get this done in under 2 minutes. Super easy. So get into your portal, get familiar with it. It looks a little different, but everything that was in last year's portal is here. So first and foremost, your home screen. If you are a unit leader who has multiple units assigned to yourself, but you're utilizing the same email address, that part is important. Click here. You can scroll. Obviously, you won't have as many as I do, but you'll be able to scroll between your units top left. That's a new feature this year, really handy. You don't have to sign out, sign back in. If you ever have any questions, this is our chatbot Finn. You see there, Rochelle in that top left white background. That's our real life person who manages our support. Rochelle and her team do monitor the chats. You'll see some links there, but you can also just ask Finn any question you want. If you ever get to a point where you've broken the bot, you can ask for a human, and Rochelle's going to see that and jump right in. But you're going to see here, first and foremost, a fun little annual ranking in addition to where you are to your goal percentage. It's going to tell you your national council and district standing. You can share that with your scouts, really, build that enthusiasm. Your calendar, you're going to see a deeper dive into this at the end in the program overview, but it is here for you to see. Your storefront budgets and sales by product. Managing your scouts this year, you can send a screenshot of this QR code to any new scout family. They can download the appropriate app for their platform. The most important part is your unique unit code. New families getting into the app are going to need this to associate their scout to your unit, so be sure to share that. Your storefronts, I'm going to click over to this training unit so I can show you. You're going to see your storefront dates. You can click right into that and it'll give you a test location. And via location, you can click in and see your hours. One important thing, you can release your storefronts. They will be auto-released on Tuesdays this year to give families more heads up as they come into a weekend. We knew on Thursday evening, you guys have already made plans. You're busy, busy, but maybe on Tuesday night, you still have an opening on the weekend and you want to pick up some more shifts. That's when those are going to release. You can always create your own storefront if you do happen to book one. You can do that right there in the portal as well. Again, storefronts, you're going to be able to click into the day, the location, and then your shift. You can add your scouts right there. It's really, really that simple if you're doing it from the unit portal screen. Your sales are going to record daily, and so you'll be able to see who's really out there, making a great sale of a day of a sale. Perhaps they're a little low on product. You're going to see that and be able to order ahead of time. Your order screen is going to list all of your order windows. So you do have visibility in the portal to when those open and close, if you didn't catch those earlier in the slides. When you click into that order, it's going to look like this. The great thing this year is we've added a couple new pieces of tech. So Jake and the council can certainly help you with the order, but if you want to get in here and play around, let's say you want to order 10,000 of retail, it's going to auto-populate based on your regional product order mix, what units of your size have traditionally sold, and then what your unit historically has sold. And it factors all three of those things in for this auto mix. You can still make adjustments as you need. You're not married to that. You're not tied in, but it is worth, playing around with. And then there at the bottom, you can see as I was tossing around some different numbers, the numbers here on this bottom row, you're going to see what your base commissions are, what your earnings would be off of this retail order of 20,490 I have entered here with your base commission. Now this is a test one, so don't look at this, but your base commission, you're going to earn this. So that's new this year for being able to order product. Your inventory will show again every day here as scouts bring their inventory back to you guys, transfer it back to you guys at the end of day. However you manage that, you're going to be able to see again, are we low on white cheddar? Are we low on salty kettle? Your finance is going to be really easy this year. You're going to be able to see again in real time all top to bottom of your transactions. You can initiate your payout at the end of the sale. You can add your bank account information for those payouts. You can invoice statements. And when your balance transaction starts to populate here at the bottom, you'll be able to export that report. There's also these additional reports that you'll find handy for tracking your financials and your sales and scout transactions. Program overview is going to be where you can find that deeper dive into your calendar, your storefront balance. Again, auto release on Tuesdays, your rewards balances, the high level base point. And then here at the bottom where you see unit commissions, you're going to see your retail, your online. And then as you earn these bonus commissions, they'll auto-populate here. But if you're ever curious what those are, just go to view commission and you're going to see them right there. You exceed 5K, you're going to get 2%. Exceeding 7,500, 2%. Exceeding 10, an extra 2%. You could ultimately get up to that 39%, which again, very generous by the council. If you, again, ever need any questions answered, ask Finn. Finn feeds directly from our support and resources page. And something really great this year I want to show you guys this. Unit leaders, take advantage of your live Q&A sessions that Trails End is hosting. This is going to be a great opportunity to ask any questions that come up. You're going to hear peer-to-peer conversation. And in addition to this, I suggest getting on the Trails End Facebook group. Since we're really getting into popcorn season, that's really been lighting up with some good conversation as well. But these are brand new live Q&A sessions. You can see they're going all the way through the middle of August. Just a great resource. And I'll drop this link into the chat.
Tiffany, we have a question that I think you can answer. Can we give multiple adults access to the unit page?
Absolutely, you can. So when you do your onboarding, there is a section for adding leaders. You can do it there. That is the easiest way to do it. And even if you've completed your onboarding, you can go back and click in, go to that screen, add those people via email, and directly add them.
All right, thank you. Just want to mention that, as Tiffany has kind of mentioned already, Trails End support super helpful, and they're kind of around the clock all the time. Like even when I need help in a pinch on like a Saturday while I'm selling, there are people to help.
If you
With
are
all
at a
the
storefront and ever experience any sort of challenges, please do reach out because our storefronts team, when we hear that perhaps there's just a lack of communication on the manager side, for example, we can jump in, share with that store manager the contract we have from corporate, and smooth that out for you.
Yeah, and I have found the Facebook page to be helpful because sometimes somebody will ask a question that a lot of people have questions to ask, and Trails End will jump in there and answer that question. So then you don't have a million people to answer to ask the same question. You can just go look and find an answer to the question in the post. Lastly, contact information for McKay and I. I believe this is also on the Popcorn webpage on the council site. But we're more than happy to help where we can. McKay and I have years of experience both as kind of the admin side, as well as on the leader side, and also with selling with our own kids. So we really do have answers for hopefully anything else that Trails End. Uh, maybe if you want to ask locally and not maybe bother them with everything, we can answer a lot of those questions as well. We are learning day by day as well. Like some of this stuff is new to us. The technology continues to change in a good way. The Trails End's always looking for feedback, and year by year they're improving the app, they're improving the leader portal, and you're seeing that if you're one of these leaders that's coming year over year, you're seeing that live. Just how well it's going. What's really cool about the app last year, it was like the first time where you didn't have to have like an actual Square reader with you. You could just use your phone. I mean, this is just such a convenient sale. So easy to utilize the app. And again, the kids love it because they're like, hey, remind me how much have we sold right now? And like you can just see like during that storefront, oh, here's so many sales you've got. You can even look at your sales by minute, all that, and then the kids will see their progress for their prizes. So really cool features. All right, we kind of finished what we wanted to talk about. So now we'll leave it open for any open mic questions or chat questions.
For those that don't want to hang around for Q&A, you're welcome to jump off. Thanks for joining, but we'll stay on as long as anyone wants till questions are answered. Thanks everyone for jumping on tonight.
Hey, so question about multiple units. Is there a way that I can have separate units so I can see their numbers separate from each other, but still manage them, share reservation dates and all of that between the two units without having to release the reservation and then have to run and go grab it real quick with the other unit real fast? Is there any way to do that so that we can?
No, you do have to release it for the system to recognize. You can't directly unit to unit transfer storefronts. No.
So get
Okay.
on two devices, unfortunately, Chad. I'm in the same boat you are.
Yeah, yeah, because we've got the older troop, and of course we've got the Cub Scouts too. That we're
Yeah,
it's what we did last year is we ended up just having the one unit, and we got all of our older scouts underneath the Cub Scouts' account, and
right.
that seemed to work fine. But having all the scouts intermingled was interesting sometimes.
Yeah, you're right, Chad. So hopefully that's something that will be worked on through Trails End. They advance. I'm amazed what they advance every year, and so maybe down the road that's a feature that will be shared.
Yeah.
Looks like we got a question in the chat here. How much is the membership fee going to be next year to figure out the adventure plan? Jake, any insight there?
I don't think there are any changes coming. So $115, that's the 85 plus the 30 program fee.
Great. Awesome. Great question, Megan. Thank you. Please reach out as you have questions. Have a good night, everyone.